Thank you guys for tuning into Morning Kiss. So we're going to jump into this week's Hot Topics. So we're talking Jay-Z. So we know him as the world's, he's my favorite rapper. And for you listening, I know he's your favorite. Some of you, he's your favorite rapper as well. So Jay-Z is actually hopping into the fitness industry. So according to TMZ, Jay-Z is getting into the fitness equipment game, just like his wife. He's investing in a startup that aims to rival Beyonce's partner, Peloton. The entertainment mogul is pumping some of his billion-dollar fortune into a company called Climber. So Climber, which is about to launch its second flagship product, a pair of vertical climbing machines. Other celebs who are also hopping on board to invest in Climber includes the men's top tennis player in the world, Novak. Do not know how to pronounce his name, spelled Djokovic. If anybody knows how to pronounce that out there, please, call in, let us know. All right, so we're just going to call him Novak. So Jay-Z and Beyonce's longtime fitness consultant, Marco, and YouTube co-founder, Chad Hurley, is also hopping into, that industry and investing in Climber. So, Sandy, do you think that people in the entertainment industry are becoming more aware of the necessity to have like multiple streams of income, especially, since the pandemic? I know I have. Like, I'm an athlete, but I'm like, oh my God, what if sports stops tomorrow? I need to do something else.
Because things like
very
that
well happen.
Could happen. This has been a wake-up call.
Absolutely.
So for sure, I think that being as creative as you possibly can and getting new revenue streams it's a smart move.
And it's important. Let me tell you something. If you decide to open up a wildlife store, I'm going to put $100,000 into it. You know why? Because you care about animals so much. So I know you're going to nurture that business just like you do the pole vault.
Yeah,
right?
This is true. You got to be passionate about it.
If you're looking for an investor, right? If sports ends tomorrow, that is our business plan.
Thank you. I appreciate you believing in me.
First investor right here. All right. So I want to know, why is it important to have multiple streams of income? So in my opinion, I just don't think you should depend on one bag. I don't think you should depend on one thing because, there are a lot of things in life that are certain, like death and taxes, and the fact that if your coach gives you a hard workout that you're not prepared for, you're gonna die. Those things are certain, right? But why do you think it's important to have multiple streams of income?
Well, I'd say it's important, but also it would be kind of a waste of our platform. I mean, we have this platform. If you are smart about it and you learn how to utilize it, you can monetize it in so many other ways than just performing on the track. Now, obviously, that's going to be my main focus, but that doesn't mean you can't have some little side gigs because hey, you got a big social media following. That means a lot these days.
Right. And if you have 100,000 people that love you and they're invested in your journey and your dream. Imagine if you sold something for 99 cents to that group of people, of 100,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I am no math genius, but you guys do the math. That's all I'm saying.
If all of my followers want to give me $1, then there you go. You got a whole salary, six-figure salary. Let's go.
Boom. Right? Listen, it's not rocket science. I just think that people need to understand the importance of having multiple streams of income and what that really means for not only yourself, but for, your legacy and your family. Because if you do plan on having children one day and, being successful, this is something that's super important that should be on your goal list, right?
I agree.
So in my opinion, or I want to know, is it a good investment for Jay-Z? Is Jay-Z known for anything fitness related or anything in the exercise, lane?
I would say he's not, but he's freaking Jay-Z. So if he wants to start whatever line, he's got that platform, he can do it, but he better be passionate about it. Or,
listen, Sandy, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if Jay-Z decided to sell snails in a plastic bag,
he could sell anything.
He could sell it and people are gonna buy it. So that's the wonderful thing about, integrity. And when you build your following and you're consistent, you can sell anything to the people that are invested in you. So his brand is so big that he can now jump into the fitness industry. How crazy is that?
He can do whatever he wants.
Listen, if Kanye West can sell holy t-shirts, right? Literally t-shirts with holes in them for $400, anything's possible. If Donald Trump can become president in America after being a reality TV star, anything is possible. All right. So shout out to Jay-Z and him investing in this idea and company in the fitness industry. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see it. I don't think he's ever lost with any investment he's ever made. So I can't wait to see this and see what comes from this.
Yeah.
So what are some good investments for the average person or the millennials? I think times are changing and people are like super and hyper aware of what they should be putting their money in, because the tides are turning, the pandemic is here, and people are like, oh my God, what's the next best thing? What do I need to do if life just changes tomorrow? What do you think?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's a hard question to answer. I'm wondering the same things because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And COVID has made that more obvious than ever, that like things are out of our control.
Let me tell you who does know. Amazon knows.
This is true.
Jeff Bezos knows.
Yes. Well, whatever it is we are investing in, it better be virtual. Like,
yes.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if you were one of the Zoom people who like started Zoom?
Holy moly. Put Skype out of business. I was
just thinking about that.
Skype is not even a thing anymore.
I was just thinking about that.
And
poor Skype.
Poor Skype.
Poor Skype.
Like, listen, but you know what? They got comfortable. Sears got comfortable. Toys R Us got comfortable.
Yep.
And Amazon stayed consistent. They listened to their consumers, right? And they filled that gap and that need while everybody else kicked their feet up. And we're just like, nah, we're good. We're just going to
You got to be willing to reinvent your product. You really do. This is why when you think about like movie stores and things like that, they're gone. Like
what's
Blockbuster, gone.
To AMC theaters right now. When's the last time you've been to a movie theater?
Girl,
right.
I don't even know. But drive-ins need to pick it up right now.
Right, I agree.
Oh my gosh, this is an opportunity for drive-in theaters.
I heard something about Walmart. This is allegedly they were coming up with this idea to have drive-in kind of situations in their parking lots. They've turned up the music in the parking lots, which now make me a little bit more happier when I go to Walmart. So shout out to Walmart for
I'm always
doing that.
confused when the music is like blaring as I get out of my car.
It's always dance music.
I'm like looking around like, where is that coming from? My life is a movie right now.
So listen, in my opinion, I think some good investments are always like real estate. Getting a shout out to Robinhood. They aren't paying us for, advertisement right now, but I am really paying attention to stocks because at this particular time in life, some companies are doing really bad and some companies are obviously doing great. So, I've really just did some research and found some companies that would be worth investing. So in your spare time, download that Robinhood app and, make you some money. What's an extra $300 every week is not a bad idea, guys. All right. So we're going to talk Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has been diagnosed with a torn Achilles. Now, will he miss the entire NBA season? Listen, he is one of the Splash Brothers. For those of you who follow basketball, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, according to TMZ, NBA superstar Klay Thomas has been diagnosed with a torn right Achilles tendon and will miss the entire 2020 to 2021 season. Oh my God. Like, just as an athlete, reading that is driving me crazy. Like, knock on wood. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that. But it's the worst possible news the Golden State Warriors could have received about the Splash Brother after he went down with an injury during a pickup game Wednesday in downtown LA with other NBA players. So it's a major blow to the Warriors, who posted the worst record in the league last season without their two big stars, and that would be Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, who was recovering from a broken hand. Thompson is easily one of the best shooters in the game with a career average of 19.5 points on a 45% shooting, including 41% from three-point range. Do you know how crazy those numbers are? Like, they just made the three-point shot just like a thing. Like, it's not even special anymore
casual.
So casual. So, Klay, get well soon. We're definitely keeping you in our thoughts. As an athlete, I feel it, brother. And so, we're wishing you a speedy recovery. I want to talk to you because this is like our territory, right? We're athletes. And how does injuries affect athletes emotionally and psychologically, in your opinion? Just because, we both experienced this.
Right.
So,
I mean, I've had my fair share of injuries.
Yep.
And you really just have to stay positive, and you have to become like obsessed with your physical therapy. Like, you have to shift your mindset from, okay, so I'm not going to be competing anytime soon, but it's the little small wins that are going to get me there eventually. So focusing on therapy every single day, making a plan, a game plan, getting like really healthy diet, listening to your doctor, become obsessed, and then few months later, you're a lot healthier than you probably were before the injury. That's what I've experienced.
So guys, I don't think you can get any better advice. I mean, does it get any better than coming from an Olympic silver medalist? I'm just saying, if it ain't working for you, it ain't gonna work for these people that are listening and watching at home. So I think the key word in what I'm hearing in that response is obsessed.
Yes.
Right? Anything that I'm super successful at, it's because I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be obsessed.
Yep.
Right? So I think that was perfect advice. I totally agree with you. And, for those of you who are athletes, or even if you're not an athlete and you just have a setback, on the physical side or even on the mental side, you lost your job yesterday, you have to become obsessed with adding more value to your life and going after another position, another job, applying to, other jobs, even while you're at home.
Yep.
So it's not about folding or just, saying, this is it for me. No, we all go through it.
It's the little things. Like, what can you do every single day to get yourself a half of an inch closer to your goal, whether that has something to do with your job or whether you're an athlete and it has to do with your performance. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to, what are you doing every moment? If you're injured, you got to find creative ways to still train. So, for example, this past week, I kind of tweaked my quad, so I haven't been able to sprint for a couple of weeks. And I was like, all right, this is time for me to really hit the weight room, upper body, core, focusing on that.
So, Sandy, what you're saying is we should race now then, huh? Right now.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my God.
Now is the
as I
perfect time.
re-pull it.
So the bet's $4,000.
Sabotage.
Yes. So for those of you who are listening, next Wednesday we're betting $4,000 at the track. I'm kidding. All right. So
I'm sitting here like, ooh, are we? My
she's
quad,
gonna
it's
rehab
starting to feel
herself
better right now.
back into shape to be able to win that $4,000. Listen, I think that's perfect and amazing advice. It is the little things, and so that also is the thing that adds to the bounce back, right? And how about your story once you've overcome that? That is the thing, honestly, that I think a lot of athletes take pride in whenever they go and do public speaking, events, and they talk to younger kids. Like, it's about all the things you go through when you're on that podium. Yeah. You cry, not because, you're crying because you won that medal, but you think about all the sacrifice, all the hard work, all the rehab.
And it has to be for you, because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The people out there, the fans, they get to witness that one moment of greatness.
Yeah.
They were not on that journey.
They weren't shooting with you in the gym, Sandy.
Exactly.
Right.
They weren't there
when,
I was so exhausted from practice that I was throwing up and I couldn't move for 2 days, or when I pulled a muscle, or when I broke my wrist.
Yeah.
Any of these times, and people witness the one moment of your success, which is awesome enough. But then you add in what athletes have gone through day in and day out, mentally and physically, to achieve those things.
Yeah, I know.
These are
these are the conversations that you don't hear often. So we're privileged to have this information to share with you guys. So I am excited. Okay, last but not least, our last hot topic is former New York City. This is gonna crack y'all up. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani's embarrassing moment. So shout out to TMZ. They're just coming with all the hot stories. According to TMZ, Rudy Giuliani's sweat fest is stealing the spotlight at President Trump's election battle, because he appears to have hair dye streaming down his face. I know y'all have seen this on social media. It's the most hilarious thing. And you know what? I think it's karma. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
So the man in charge of President Trump's legal fight, Rudy Giuliani, to overturn the election's results, was sweating profusely throughout a news conference. So often taking breaks to wipe his face and visible sweat beads on his forehead. At one point it got so bad that streams of what looks like dark hair dye ran down both sides of his face. As for what's actually being said at the news conference, Giuliani's continuing to make baseless claims of rampant voter fraud and discrepancies in multiple states, with added eerie for Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. It's truly been a sad sight to see, for reasons beyond Giuliani's bad dye job. Honestly, he's perspiring so much, you gotta wonder if he's battling an illness. It wouldn't be the first time a Trump-related event included such an outbreak. Honestly, what? Now, my first thought was, Was he nervous about the information that he was delivering to the world because he knows it's BS? You know,
you have to wonder that,
right? So Trump is like, I did not. This is not a fair and square deal here. You know, they're cheating. You know, let's recount, sir. No matter how many times you recount it, like they got it. You just got to give it up, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we have to accept it just like we accepted when you won and, you know, you beat Hillary. Don't know if it was fair and square, but, you know, you beat her and you became the president for 4 years. So, you know, that's it. So I'm like, is he sweating or is that just a natural reaction of the hair? I've never seen Giuliani ever have hair dye like that ever happened. So, you know, what do you guys think? Anyway, do you think it's weird for men to have hair dye? Like, is it weird if your husband just came and said, honey, I want to dye my hair?
I mean, it's a nuanced topic, right? But I do think, you know, it's more normalized for women to like dye their hair if they're going gray. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a guy who's going gray.
I agree.
To touch up his hair and dye his hair. That's okay.
I agree.
You know,
I totally agree.
I kind of, you know, I don't feel bad for him because, you know, it's, you know, everything that's happened. But at the same time, it's so cringy.
You don't have to say anything else.
It's so cringy.
On that note, we're gonna cut our hot topics, guys.